Hey guys, it's Helen Hartsmith coming to you again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. It's been a while since I recorded a live video, and if you're keeping up with the podcasts, then you know that I've experienced a little technical difficulty. My laptop crashed just after Christmas, so Kathy and I are still recording the podcasts. We're just doing the editing at her house so that I can post them. So we're still bringing you information, and I'm gonna play around with just posting a video rather than editing it to add my intro music and things like that. So bear with me. Hopefully we're going to get it right. So I'm coming to you today because I found out about a really neat challenge that's going on Facebook with, from what I'm seeing, a lot of pagans, and that makes me excited to see so many people participating in this. It is a YouTube pagan challenge, and I believe a lady by the name of Arnica, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, it has started this challenge, and what it is 52 questions that, if you choose to, you make a video response answering one a week. It started last week, so I'm a little late to the program. What's new for me, right? So anyhow, like I said, I'm excited about this, and I can't wait to talk to you about the questions. And I decided that because I'm late, I still wanted to answer both of the questions, but I'm just going to do it in this one video. So technically, this video is for week 1 and for week 2. So let's start with the week 1 question, which is, how did you find your path? For those of you who follow the blog, for those of you who follow the podcast, then you know that I also maintain a blog. And this question is one that I answered pretty early on in my blog, my blogging career, would you call it? I don't know. But I'm going to post a link in the description box that will have a link to that blog post, but that will go into more depth than what I'm going to talk about in this video. So if you want to learn more, check that out. How did I find my path? I feel that I had a really natural progression to coming to stand where I'm at on my path right now. I consider myself a witch. I am part of the movement that is reclaiming that word and hoping to change the stereotype that, a witch is someone with green skin and warts who cackles and flies around on a broom and is an old lady, an ugly old lady. I might be bordering on an old lady, but I like to think that I'm not so ugly. And while I did play the Wicked Witch on stage once for The Wizard of Oz, my skin is generally not green. So, changing that stereotype. Anyhow, I was raised in a Christian home. I was baptized Methodist, confirmed Episcopalian. I served as an acolyte, taught church school, things of that nature. And when I was in college, I was exposed to Native American spiritualism and found a connection there. And I am part Native American on my mother's father's side of the family. So I got into that during the last few years that I was in college. But I was still searching. Like, it still wasn't enough for me. And then when I moved back to my hometown after college, I just really felt in my heart that there was one universal deity. Okay? There's this one entity out there that is, that shows itself to you in a way that you can relate to. Okay? And that one deity is God to Christians, is, speaks differently to someone who is Muslim, is different to someone who is pagan, but it's all the same entity. That's a conclusion that I kind of came to on my own. And that was in part because during my Native American spiritualism time, I did come into contact with Native Americans that celebrated and worshiped both a Christian God deity and the Native American creator deity that Native American traditions across the country come into or worship. And so there was a point when I wanted to serve. Okay, I wanted to, and I thought that meant that I wanted to be clergy in the Christian world. And so I actually considered going to seminary for a while and things of that nature. And I was speaking, so I went back to the Episcopal Church, and there was a day when I was talking to the priest's wife, and I expressed to her my thought about this one universal deity. And she basically told me that I had to back up my beliefs with something from the Bible, with scripture. And that just didn't sit well with me, because then I started thinking, well, what is faith then? Because I felt that the Bible was a bit faulty at that point. I was struggling. I was trying to figure out, where did I fit in? Where did I belong? And so that conversation pretty much ended my thoughts that I would, look into the Episcopalian seminary. And it just so happens that I had heard of witchcraft. I actually had a really close friend in college that his wife was a witch. And now I really want to kick myself in the shin, because I could have been experiencing the craft a lot earlier had I, really thought about the opportunity that was before me and really talked to her about her beliefs. But I chalked that up to, a matter of, it wasn't the right time. So I knew what witchcraft was, and I happened to be in this secondhand bookstore, and I saw this book called Celtic Magic, and something told me, DJ Conway, it's been around for a while. It's this cute little pocket novel size book. And so something told me I needed to buy it, and I did, and I read it, and I tore it apart, and I was like, whoa, this is what I've been looking for. Started talking to a couple of my friends, and they were of a like mind. And Kathy, who does the podcasts with me, she had actually been exposed to the craft earlier than our friendship. And so we formed our first group / coven, and the rest is history. So I really chalk my finding, and coming to where I'm at on this path as it's a growth. And even though I'm in my 40s, it's something that I continue to grow and learn from. I'm never going to be done learning, regardless of how many people I study with, regardless of how many classes I've taken or not taken. My learning is going to continue on until I'm not breathing anymore. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. So that's my answer to the first question. And the second question is, are you out of the broom closet? And honey, I'm totally out of the broom closet. It was kind of funny because I was speaking to a coworker before coming home today and telling her that I was about to, get into this challenge and things of that nature. And we kind of talked about the fact that my current job where I'm at right now, I have been there for 11 years. This summer will be my 12th year working at this place. And when I first started, like anyone, I mean, like anyone who I've watched a few of these videos, and a lot of people talk about the fact that they're not out at work, or, you know, work is kind of like the last frontier when it comes to coming out of the broom closet, unless you've got some family members that you're really nervous about what their reaction is going to be. And really, for me, work was, you know, once you're there, if I were to ever get a new job, then of course, you know, you gotta keep that under, you know, because some people are still biased and prejudiced and things of that nature, and you might not get the job, or, you know, you might get fired or whatever. So, you know, that is kind of, you've gotta be able to say when you can come out, basically. But my whole family knows, and I'm the only witch, pagan, you know, anything like that in my family. I have a cousin that's, I don't remember what he is, but he's not Christian. I don't believe. I might have to ask him what he is so that I can like fully discuss it. But everybody's Christian or like non-practicing or whatever, but they're all very open to my religion. And I've never had an issue with my family or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I am recognized clergy in the state of Michigan where I live, and I was actually able to marry my what I call my baby cousins. They're actually my cousin's kids, but I was able to marry him and his wife, and they've been together forever and a day. And so it makes my heart happy to know that, you know, that I can make those types of things happen for my family if they so choose it. So yeah, definitely out of the broom closet, definitely reclaiming the word witch, the term witch, the title witch, whatever you want to, you know, classify it as. And I'm quite proud to be a witch. So there you have it. Hashtag YT Pagan Challenge, weeks 1 and 2, questions answered. I hope you learned something from this or liked it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, thanks for walking the path a little bit with me. Blessed be.